he was one of Malta's best football players. He changed his life around.
At a very young age, I got introduced to marijuana, eventually even going in my 15s and 16s, getting introduced like to LSD and ecstasies. Stupidly enough, I always thought that this is going to be a big part of my life because I loved it. The beginning is always nice about drugs. I mean, there's nothing wrong about it. I mean, it gives you self-boost, self-esteem, you know, you're feeling someone. At the age of 19, I ended up taking heroin. The habit now kicks in. I'm taking drugs in halftime. We won every game, man. That's how good we were.
Okay, what was the switch to saying, listen, I'm done, finished?
I became who I became today because
Today, it's episode 7 of the Champions Connect podcast, and it's so nice to have someone here who's passed through a lot. It's my first episode where I had someone who passed through this situation, and we are here today with Miguel Mifsud.
Thank you. Thank you, Luca.
Thanks so much.
Thank you too.
For accepting the invite.
Thank you for inviting me.
Today is so nice to have you here. Like, I'm more than grateful, to be honest.
So am
because I heard your story, and I was like, this person has to share his story with
Very
us.
good.
Now, you've been on a lot of these type of episodes and sharing your story, but I think today will hit different audiences, and we can push and dive in more to what you shared on TVM and on these places, on the media. So, Miguel, how I like to open up with people like you usually is with upbringing.
Yeah.
And why is that? I believe that upbringing is one of the most important parts of your life, because if you have a bad upbringing, you're traumatized sometimes, and you can't figure out your trauma till you're older. Thank God I was brought up very well, and I think also you too.
Yep.
So we'll dive into that. Miguel, so I didn't let you introduce yourself first,
No
but I would like to. Miguel passed through a very difficult time growing up. He was one of Malta's best football players, got into an addiction, which is unfortunately drugs, and then he changed his life around, which is almost impossible for many users. Miguel, upbringing.
Well, first of all, I would like to thank you. I'm grateful as well for you having me here and sharing my story. Hopefully we can impact other people. I mean, my story comes with a lot of highs and a lot of lows. I must say I had a very normal upbringing, very good upbringing.
Don't worry.
And I'm the only child with 3 sisters. I come from a good family. I went to a private school as well. Eventually, everything was going according to plan, let's say. And even I was noticed that I'm very good at playing football, and I'm an athletic person. I remember there was this PE teacher called Mr. Mock. I used to go to St. Edward's College.
Billy Mock?
No, it's no, it's not Billy Mock. Mr.
There was a player playing for, if I'm not mistaken, he was my
Charlie
coach.
Mock.
Okay.
Charlie Mock, which passed away like last summer, I think.
Okay.
Very sad. He's a very nice person. Eventually, he called my dad and told my dad that I could be someone special.
How old were you?
Now I'm like 10, 11. You know, I'm playing at school and being athletic, but he knew that I had something different and I had a talent regarding how I play football. So eventually, that was my upbringing. I was a boarder. I used to sleep at school, and I had a very normal childhood. And my parents paid a lot of money for my school. So
back then, it was normal to be a boarder.
Yes, back in my days.
Very normal.
Yes, obviously. Now I'm 45, so going back like 30, 35 years ago, it's I must say it's a long time now. But yes, it was. It's different. I mean, back then even used to get smacked for doing the wrong things. I mean, stuff has really changed now. So, but eventually, obviously, after school wasn't my thing. I never liked school, but I always liked playing football and doing athletics at school. I used to take it really seriously. Eventually, I was growing up normally. Then I was introduced to Hibernians, to the youth nursery. I started playing at the age of 9, 10, which again, everything was showing that I am going to have a professional,
career, yeah.
a good career, let's say. But back at my neighborhood was a bit rough, so I had both worlds at the same time, which had a good private school and then some not bad. I mean, there was friends doing different stuff on both sides, which I liked both. I really enjoyed my football. I really wanted to be a football player, but at the end, I always liked the way my other friends lived. Obviously, at a very young age, I got introduced to marijuana, eventually even going in my 15s and 16s, getting introduced like to LSD and ecstasies.
Let's go into that slowly.
Okay.
Because I believe that you're not the only one who passed through this at a very young age. And I still believe, sorry, that there are athletes who are passing through this at the moment and are keeping it obviously with them. I'm an athlete myself, and sometimes there are patches where you can't perform.
No,
you cannot perform. Not because you don't want to. You cannot. You know, you're training even twice a day sometimes, and you cannot perform. And sometimes people turn to this, you know, and think that it's going to help them. I think.
No, I first of all, I never took drugs. I never took drugs to help my improve my my ability of playing. It was never the issue. Drugs were taken as a part of partying and having fun. Obviously, they wouldn't let me perform at my highest. I couldn't get the most of what I could give of being a football player, let alone taking drugs. I mean, I could never give my full potential.
Exactly. Okay, so how was it introduced? So you were obviously an upcoming star, you can say.
Yes.
And going into the national team era at those ages.
I must say, first of all, at the age, so while getting introduced to drugs and being good around these people, I was still, I was called to play for the under 13 or under 14 national team at the time, which we had a few tournaments, and an English team, Cambridge United, came to Malta. We had a friendly, and at 14, 15, I was chosen to go and play for this team in England, which was me and another player, Maltese player, Mark Anthony Bornici. We were privileged to go to the Dyna Cup in Germany and in Denmark. And play that cup, which we both did very, very, very well. Eventually, I made a whole year there. They kept me there. I was going to school there as well, and they wanted to sign me as well, but I never wanted to stay there. I wanted to come back to Malta.
Why is that?
Obviously, I brought up the excuse that I'm homesick, but eventually I wanted to come back home to party and get this thing going and even play for my home club, Hibernians. But it was an excuse as well.
Yeah. Okay, so were you already taking beforehand? Before you went to the...
Yes, before going, I was already taking drugs, which... Stupidly enough, I always thought that this is going to be a big part of my life because I loved it. Today I look back and I say, how could this be? But taking drugs was one of the main... I mean, I looked at it like something...
What was the first experience like? Obviously, there's always a first time to everything.
Listen, first of all, the beginning is always nice about drugs. I mean, there's nothing... wrong about it. I mean, it gives you self-boost, self-esteem, you're feeling someone, and looking back then and playing football and being one of the main characters of every age group, and even playing like at under 14 playing for the under 18s, and then going into after coming from Cambridge at the age of 16, even playing for the senior team for Hibernians at that time. To play at that age was
It was exactly a plus, a boost.
It's even much better, because you not only that you could use drugs, but even bring drugs for free.
Exactly.
And and it was more easy for me, like and that's why I always got into really bad state in my life. Eventually things were getting way out of control, but one way or another I always lived a double life and always managed to
Escape.
snake from it, and escape the reality. But
who approached you to, no names? Okay.
it's okay.
Don't worry. Who approached you? Was it in a club? Was it at school?
No, eventually, I told you, the place where I live, my friends, I'm from the south. I'm from Cospiqua, Calcara, and that area. We were young. We wanted to
try out things.
To try out different stuff and being exposed to different drugs at that age. Actually, my father had this bar in Cospiqua, which everything was there to see. My father always did his best for me. That's why I was in a boarding school. He never wanted me to stay around in that area. But sometimes the more you don't want your kids going that way, they must end up going more. They want to see more and they want to know what's really in there. Eventually, with my friends, it was more easy to get this life, and I really liked it. Apart from liking playing football, I always wanted this life.
Exactly. Mentioning your father, obviously, unfortunately, he passed away. What happened? What was the situation like? Because I heard a story, which I would like you to share.
Yes, sure.
On this. What happened?
No, basically, so let's put it this way. At the age of 19, I ended up taking heroin. So now my football career is over. At that age,
19 already.
19 years of age, I had to go to rehab. I started taking heroin and I was shooting heroin. And after like 2-3 years, I was finished. So I had to go to rehab, and at the time I went. Now this is 1999, right? And I went to Caritas and I did the full program, and came back out from the program. I did 2 years super clean and sober. Started playing again. I went to the first division for a year with Shira Tornadoes, which was a wonderful year for me. After that, Hibernians, Mr. Tony Bezzina, at the time the president, big respect to him. He helped me a lot in my life. He told me this season you'll be playing for our club again, which at that time I wanted to play with Shira Tornadoes because we came up from first division to Premier League, and I wanted, But eventually he said, no, this is your club, this is your home, and you need to start playing for Hibernians again. At that year, I was chosen to play with the under-21s with Rezazo Farrugia, which we had a very, very good team at that age, the under-21s. We even managed to get some points during that qualifications. Big respect to Rezazo as well. He's like a parent to me.
If I'm not mistaken, the goalkeeper was
Justin Harbour.
Who was our guest on the 5th episode.
Justin. Justin did a lot of age groups together, but he played for Florian and I played for Hibernians.
Exactly.
But I can remember Justin forever. From our under-13s.
You scored 2 goals against him.
Yes, against Vikirkara. Yes.
And he still gets up.
One of them we managed to win the league with the goal.
Yeah.
And then after going back with Hibernians, and I started playing some really good football, and I started coming back. Eventually, sadly enough, in 2000 in the millennium there was a party. And I went out after nearly like 1.5 years no drinking. Going to bars and drinking only water. I got my life back. exactly how it should be now, and I'm
Exactly.
playing really good. I went back to this party and I said, let me take one ecstasy. So I started doing drugs again, slowly, slowly. But no one could ever know what I'm doing, because now I'm playing really good, and I'm not doing it every weekend. Actually, no, maybe once a month. But eventually, then we won the league with Hips in 2002. I had a wonderful season. I mean, I was buzzing, and I got called to play for the national side. At that time, the coach was Ziggy Held. This is around,
German.
yes, this is around 2002, 2003, which I was getting all the attention now and doing a very good, amazing stuff. And now at the time, the drug problem was already starting to come back more into my life and catching back, because now we're winning honors and I'm getting the
Recognition.
exactly, and the partying is starting to get heavier. Now I'm starting to go out again, and now I'm doing late nights. But again, I was playing.
You felt like a king, you know?
Yes, I was still playing good. Now eventually I go with Sliema Wanderers.
Okay. Of around 20,000 Maltese, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. I was bought for around 20,000 Maltese.
And it was a big transfer.
It was a big transfer.
then.
Let me tell you a story now. So at the time, Robert Arrigo wanted to introduce me to the public and the media. Was ready, and
Robert Arrigo was the president of
Sliema
Sliema.
Wanderers. Big respect to him. He's a very nice person, a very loved person, like Mr. Tony Bezzina. But this is funny. I mean, Robert calls me 2 days after and he says, "Listen, Miguel, we're going." It was me, Adrian Mifsud, both from Hibernians, and Darren from Valletta. They made 3 big, huge transfers. Sorry. And Robert tells me, "Listen, we're going to get the kits and we're going to present you to the public, and everyone's going to be around. You make sure you're going to be there, right?" And I said, "Okay, President, I'm going to be there." Eventually, I wake up one morning, and a friend of mine comes to my house, and we decide we go to this party in Holland.
Holland.
Yes, we just got the plane. We had the cash, and it's me. Today she's my wife. I mean,
No way.
and we flew to Holland. There is this party, Dance Valley,
All right.
and like I forgot. I mean,
How long ago was it to the signing?
this a week.
How long ago exactly? A week.
It's a week now. It's a week, and the president just calls me at one time and says, "Hello, hi, Miguel." I said, "Hi." He said, "Listen," he said, "it's time to be here. Where are you?" And I say, and then he said he knew that I flew away because he had people all around, and he says, "I'm sorry, I can't make it because I'm
abroad."
I lied about something and said, "Please tell me the truth." And I said, "Listen, I can't make it. I'm abroad. I'm partying in Amsterdam, And but eventually I came back that year and played, and we won the league as well. Now I'm doing. Now I need drugs even to be myself. The habit now kicks in. I'm taking drugs in halftime.
Games in halftime.
Yeah, I had to take drugs even waking up, and even now I'm taking drugs during halftime sometimes. I mean, drugs.
Even pre-game.
Yes, I had to.
And what type of drugs were you taking?
I was taking cocaine. I mean, cocaine was became a big part of my life. I mean, not to perform, Luca. I'm being honest. It's just being me and feel normal and get my strength back, because now there's the cravings is so hard, and you start getting sick, and withdrawals.
Okay.
You're having withdrawals now. Stuff will get. Eventually, I couldn't keep up with the expectations of the training. I mean, we were such a very good side. I mean, we were all playing for the national team, and if not the national team for the under-21s, we were like a very good side, like Noel Turner, Jeffrey Ketkuti, Darren, me, Giulio, Joseph Farrugia. I mean, this team was huge. At the time, we didn't even have a football pitch to train in, because we used to train at the University of Malta on a five-a-side. And
National team?
No, Sliema.
Sliema.
And we won every game, man. That's how good we were. And it was very hard for me, I mean, to keep up with the training and with my drug addiction. Eventually, I ended up doing, crack cocaine.
And how did you, because obviously it involves money. Did you used to steal from?
No. I mean, first of all, both my parents have worked their whole lives, and we had this business. We had a shop, and they made some good serious money in their life. I played football. I was even paid very good money with. And another thing, Luca, when you're playing and with these type of clubs, you can benefit a lot. I mean, people wouldn't give you for free. I mean, but I had good resources. Another thing at that time now, I have my football mates, and I have my neighborhood friends. Now these young generation that we were together trying weed and LSD and ecstasy, now we are all in our 25s, and now they're selling cocaine and they're selling ecstasy. Now they're making the good money, and I'm in the middle between them and football. I can get anything I want from these people. I can help them out regarding even getting their stuff to the players. It wasn't only me, by the way.
No?
It wasn't only me doing this stuff. No, it wasn't. But I took it to another level regarding my addiction, because once you get to doing crack cocaine, then it will get you hard.
And these, I don't...
Don't worry, just go ahead.
You don't need to mention players.
No, forget.
Did they ever come out and say, listen, I actually did it, and recover from it?
Some of them, I mean, a lot of them did recover, but they weren't doing it like I was doing it. I mean, it was the weekend thing or the after game thing, you know. I was doing it every day, but there are some of them that did it every day, that didn't even recover from it, and then they ended up in a very bad situation, even prison.
And the friends you had from childhood, from your hometown, where are they at the moment? Are you still in contact?
Yes. Today, actually, one of them called
Really?
me. Some of them cleaned out. Some died. Some in prison. Some are lucky to tell the story right here. I mean, sorry.
Don't worry. Sometimes you get dry when you talk too much.
It's. I mean, we are all in our 40s now. This life cannot give you. It can only give you like 3 ways out. You can either get clean, or keep going, or you're in a prison or death. I mean, that's the outcome you could only get from this life. I'm very grateful and thankful, because my addiction got very, very, very bad at the moment that I was in the worst situation possible in my life, where I lost it literally all. It's good to say, even after football, after Sliema, after playing with Sliema, going back to the story, I ended up doing rehab as well again, which I came out after rehab, and I started back my life. I played a bit with 2nd division and 3rd division, Gżira, and Cospiqua. So I must say I won every major trophy in Malta. So I won 3rd, 2nd, 1st, and Premier in a short career.
And trophy as well.
Yes, and in a short career, I must say I didn't do bad. You know, I played for the national team. So, but yes, drugs took a lot from me, because then coming out after my nearly third rehab, after Sliema was my third rehab, I got my life back. I started working abroad.
You went on a rig?
On an oil rig. I was doing courses regarding scaffolding, and I did all the courses, and I had the privilege then to open my own company in Malta, and then ended up taking one of the largest projects in Malta, which included building the bastions of Malta with the European Commission tender, which again I had the opportunity to bring back my life back in order, and I had my own company, which was called MIG Scaffolding. Now, from losing it all, I was back on my feet, employing around 20 people.
Okay. So the same thing?
The same thing. Now I'm doing crazy money. Now my friends are doing more crazy money than me, and they're selling like big chunks of
projects.
Now, my friends, my best section of friends were doing the big kilos, and now a lot of ecstasies of selling and this thing. Yes, and I was again started going back to that life. Maybe I wasn't mature enough, and I was greedy, I must say. I was still doing a lot of money, but maybe I still wanted to be around them.
And when you say a lot of money, what is the amount, approximately?
I could buy anything I want. I mean, I could drive down Ormy Street where there's car dealers, and I could stop and buy any car or any TV. It was crazy. We were doing some crazy money, but again, after being successful, because my downfall wasn't when I hit rock bottom. My main problem was always when I hit that high up there, and I got everything according to plan, and then I would lose it all again. And this time the fall was big. Coming to where you asked about my father, because I had a lot of money now. I became a crackhead, and I was running in the streets. I mean, from employing 20 people to not even. I still had the money, but I couldn't care less. I mean, I'm without shoes at my feet in the car, and I'm smoking crack all day, every day. I was spending around from 600 to 1,200 a day.
It was nothing back then.
But I was losing my mind. I was losing my head. I used to get out from my house like on a Friday and get back on a Tuesday. And no one would ever know. Now I'm locked up in hotels, and I'm doing all this crazy stuff, and getting involved with worse crowd of people. Now we're getting into court cases.
You were a taker, you were in taking. Now you're the business king. Where you're creating. This thing.
And yes, but again, it wasn't meant to be as I was doing crazy stuff. Now police is getting involved, and I'm being with the wrong crowd at the wrong situation, and now stuff is getting too much complicated, and now I know a lot about certain people which I shouldn't know, and this stuff will bring it.
So obviously there's no bank transaction. I'm asking you because it's
okay.
Cool it's cool for the audience to know as well. There's no bank transactions, so it's always on hand.
A lot of it. It's when
and was it all stored at home?
No. Apart, yes. I used to have a lot of cash at home. A lot of it. And at that time as well, it's good to say that I had this particular friend that he used to import ecstasy, and we used to make we used to make a lot. There used to be done a lot of money. I mean, crazy money. Now this guy comes with this idea. He has he raises pigeons. This guy raises pigeons, and one time we're at his house, and he says, "Listen, I have this idea." And I say, "What's the idea?" He says, "What if we train the pigeons and let them import ecstasies for us?" I said, "What?" I said, how could you come with this idea? I said, how will the pigeon get the pills, you know? And I'm like, he says, "Listen, I can train the pigeons." He says, we can do a harness with them, and we can train the pigeons with some weight, you know?
No way.
And now we're in Sicily. He goes there by ecstasy, and now he has 100 pigeons with vest on. He put like there was
magnet,
certain amount of grams, which will equal, like, for example, 30 to 50 ecstasy per
And
pigeon.
how much is per pigeon? Like, how much money is there on per pigeon, approximately?
The pigeon itself.
No, like, so imagine a packet.
I mean, if there's
50.
you couldn't put a lot. You couldn't put a lot because it would weigh her down. So you had to be careful. But eventually, and some of them will be lost along the way. But it was
course.
worth, because first we were doing with ecstasy. Now we're doing with cocaine, because this was working really well. And I would stay on the roof of this person, and this person would tell me, when you see the other pigeons, there's a certain pigeon. I didn't understand the process, but eventually, when you're running the pigeons, when you're doing the race, there's this bird called the Moroccan. Now this bird, when you see the pigeons from far away, you let this pigeon, the Moroccan, fly, and he will guide them back to you.
Okay.
So these pigeons will get home before him. They can do it faster than the ship itself, you know. And I'm like, 1 pigeon in, 2 pigeon in, 3 pigeons in, and now we're starting to make some good money with the pigeon project, you know.
Crazy, man.
So eventually, this I'm living both ways, and now we're partying, and we're there, like, we're having all these ecstasy pills, and we're staying, like, doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It was great. I couldn't play football anymore.
Of course, the money was there. You can say
the money was there, and it couldn't finish, but your strength will, Luca. Your strength will get you, man. Your strength will get you. Eventually, your health.
I think the word to this and the idea to this is you're buying less time. It's like you're buying yourself to die earlier. You want to get life quick and die quick.
It will get you. Eventually, it will get you. I mean, when you're doing all those hours, we're not meant to do this stuff. I mean, your body will eventually give up on you.
Obviously, as I said earlier, but we got into a different conversation. Your father passed away.
Yes, and this is where it comes now. 10 years ago, my father passed away, and
don't need to close it. Don't worry. I just leave it there. Yes.
Sorry. My father passed away. My father was my biggest friend. Sorry.
Needed. Well needed.
Good.
Well needed.
My father passed away 10 years ago, and 10 years ago, eventually, I was in a really bad state. I remember at that time, even my wife was getting so tired with my addiction. Now I'm at the very bottom of my lowest ever. I lost my company, I lost the money. After all those riches, now I'm done. I'm opening il-karus tat-tfal, xiġi.
The piggy bank of his kids.
Of my kids. Now I'm tearing. I'm like doing this crazy stuff. I never had to steal from other people, but now I'm heading that direction. You know. Eventually, I was. My father was feeling sick. He had a heart attack. And now my family are trying to call me to explain the situation, the whole thing.
So he passed away while, or no?
They wanted to tell me that my father is going to pass away. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not sure if he's going to pass away, to be honest, or he passed away at that time. But eventually, I didn't pick up that phone. I left it ringing, and I chose to continue taking drugs.
And who was calling you?
It's my sisters. My sisters, yes.
And did they know that you were passing through this situation?
Yes, they knew.
And some friends?
Yes, but at that time I would never answer any calls from anyone. I mean, I lived in my own world. All I did was drugs from morning to morning. And now I'm getting locked up in mental health hospitals in Monte Carmeli. I'm being engaged in a lot of crazy situations. Which,
And how old were you here?
45. I'm 30.
30.
I'm 30. 30 to 35. Yes.
You had kids back
yes. I mean, my eldest son is 24. He's seen a lot. The other ones, I have one. Jake is 14, and Manuela's 10. Which Manuela knows nothing, but Jake can understand some things. But Liam went through a lot of things, seeing a lot of money, seeing even some crazy stuff at home. But eventually, I thank God for him. He's a very good kid, and he doesn't like this stuff.
Yeah.
So I didn't.
You can bring it closer if you want.
All right.
Yeah.
And but yes, I mean, where were we exactly?
Don't worry. So I would like to ask another question.
Yes, all right.
We're on the father situation thing
Yes.
where he called you. Were your friends supportive?
Sorry?
Were your friends supportive?
Yeah.
Because I get into that because I have
What?
a short secret for you.
Don't worry.
There were friends, okay,
Yes.
I don't mention names, that helped you,
Yes.
but then came to a situation where they said, listen, we can't help him anymore.
Yes, they were.
Are they still by your side, and are they...
There are friends that even came into crack houses for me to pull me out of that situation. There are friends that took me by themselves to rehab. There's another friend that took me to Monte Carmeli, to mental health hospital, which helped me. I mean, there were some very good friends that took care of me. I mean,
Mentioning friends,
uh-huh.
I want to show you something,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
So, whoever's watching at the moment, I'll be showing this video to Miguel, and then I'll be showing it on the podcast. So, if you don't mind,
Okay.
press play,
Yeah.
okay, and put it with the mic so people can hear it.
Okay. Oh, way.
Yep, put it with the mic.
Hey
You
Mick,
have to top the volume, I
I
think.
never imagined myself filming this video for you, just to tell you how proud I am, and that I have never thought that after all you've passed through, that even me, there was time that I have given up on you, but you didn't. Your wife didn't. Many people didn't. But you proved me wrong, you proved others wrong, and with your fantastic mentality, you managed to arrive at this point where you are doing a fantastic great job, and I'm so proud of you. Love you, Mick.
Very good, man.
Hey, Mick.
This is amazing, Luca. This is
one.
amazing, man.
And I got another teammate, which I was with today,
Okay, very good.
which is Justin Harbour.
All right.
I'd like to send a message to you. Okay. Give me a second, because sometimes the update drives me crazy.
Hello, Miguel. I'm so proud of you, man. I can't believe you achieved this. It's not easy, I know, to go forward, but you took it to the next level. I'm happy that you're teaching kids, you're teaching us, and you're educating people. Not so long time ago, we used to play together, the good times under 21. Everybody knew you had so much potential in everything. I think you scored 1 or 2 goals to me, but anyway. Listen, keep it up. Thank you for doing this.
Amazing.
And we're all behind you, okay?
This is amazing.
See you, brother.
This is good, Luca. Thank you, man.
I got some insights from your friends.
Thank you, man.
Honestly, I think it's so nice to have people who are supporting you.
No, there is
Sometimes
there is a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing when because people, Luca, will forget what you did, but when you go through and you come back, and
it's not easy.
it's not easy, man. And people will see the sacrifices you're doing. You know, like the same thing I'm doing at the moment. It's these giving back runs. I'm doing them to give back, but you'll end up receiving much more than giving. You know why?
Exactly.
Because everyone will appreciate your work.
Exactly. And I don't think that, so obviously it's my first time meeting you, and there's an age difference, so
Yeah.
I never experienced you playing with me, obviously.
Yeah.
But who?
You were lucky, yeah?
Your teammate, you think? You think? I don't think you'd have scored, but anyway. People who experienced it with you, and so from when you're young to now, they really appreciate,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure. And then talking to Andrew and to many people about you, obviously I asked,
Yeah.
and they said it's an incredible story.
Yeah.
So congrats on that. You recovered, okay? You recovered,
Yeah.
and okay. What was the switch to saying, "Listen, I'm done, finished"?
Now moving forward, so after the death of my father, I ended up in this mental hospital, which I did like 3, 4 to 6 months, I don't really know, and I ended up going back to Caritas. I came back out, and I didn't stop taking drugs, and like which took me like another 6 years, which let's say 6 years ago. Then I said, listen, now I lost it all, and now I'm about to lose my wife and my kids. Thank God. Going back to your very first question, how was your upbringing? I truly believe that whatever gets imbibed in you when you're young, especially what your father and mother the love they give you will never go away from you. So I was never gonna let my kids and my wife go away from me, so I wanted to give it my best try, my best shot, and I said, listen, I need to make something about this. I really need to take a very good decision about my life, because it's either gonna be alive and clean or dead.
So you were thinking of suicide?
I was thinking about suicide. I was telling my wife about it. Now my medication is so high. I'm taking like 18 pills a day to keep me under control.
But this is drugs to help you?
To help you not take drugs.
Okay.
But now I'm weighing 120 kilos. And imagine me after all those training and football. I will show you a picture about this.
Yeah. We'll input all these pictures into the podcast so people can understand.
And now I'm clean and sober, but
Depressed.
not clean at all. And I'm taking 20 pills. It's for my ADHD, it's for thinking right, it's not for sleeping, and now and I said to my wife, listen, it's either gonna be really clean or I'm going to end my life today here. And she said, I said, listen, let me tell you something. I said, today I'm going to take a decision. I said, I'm going to stop my pills. And my wife is getting worried now. I said, listen, take my kids to my mom's, and we're going to stay here. And my wife is very worried now. And my wife was always told that if I stopped these medication, I could seriously maybe or injure her or injure myself, or I could be a threat to all the people around me, because I was. And I took the decision. I said, I'm going to go sober, and I'm going to give it my last try, because it's either getting sober or actually it's better off killing myself, thinking about it that day. And I'm telling my wife these words: I'm either going clean or I'm going the other way. So I took 11 days to get sober. No sleep at all.
No?
No sleep at all. And it was a very, very bad and good decision that I took, because it nearly killed me.
Why? And how?
Because the withdrawals were, you can't just stop eating pills like that, and the habit,
Was there something else you took? Just like, for example, I saw this thing on social media that when people smoke, for example, in the car, they leave a packet in the door, just in case, And there was this insight that if you leave, for example, lollipops instead of smoking, you could take off the habit slowly. Was there something? Don't worry. Was there something which you took to replace?
No, it's not me.
So nothing.
It's not me. Even cigarettes, I'm either stopping or I'm not playing games. I'm someone that when I like, if you ask Andrew or Justin or anyone you could ask for, I would give my everything to every situation. Either it's a good situation or a bad situation. If I'm doing drugs, I'm giving my 100%. If I'm gonna play football, I want to give my 100%. If I'm running, I'm giving my 100%.
We'll come to that.
So this is I'm either going clean or I'm gonna. I don't. It's either black or white. There's no gray, Luca, for me. I'm not in the middle of nothing. So if I say I'm done, I'm done. And I had to take this decision in my life, not only for myself, but even for my family, and especially for my wife, which has been there all throughout my addiction. I was around 18 and she was 16 when I used to. So a big shout out to my wife, Miguel Mifsud, which kept by my side after all these years and supported me no matter what the situation was. She was always there for me, and for this I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful, not only that she has supported me, but most of all that she kept supporting my children and giving them the best she could while I was going through that drug addiction. And eventually I had 11 days of illusions at home, seeing like monkeys, police, and this. And I had some few friends that worked on a night shift, and I used to call them, There's a part, I would get to it later when I will show you my object that made an impact in my life. So I'll keep it for then. And eventually, after 11 days, I got a big part of my life back, which that was only just the beginning, because remember, I was still weighing at 120 kilos. I'm speechless. So that's the other part. But yes.
And now, so we can tell the audience.
Yes.
And now,
no. I'm into this. I'm into this running thing.
Wait, no. Kilograms.
Now I am weighing 83 kilos.
The difference is there,
Mala.
Almost half.
Mala. And I could go even more, but because of what I'm doing, sometimes I need to gain some weight.
Really?
Because of the hours I'm doing, But eventually, one thing, Luca, will lead to another. Then eventually, suddenly that belief starts coming back to you. And you're looking forward to a new day, and you're becoming grateful again, and you start to see the light in the dark.
When you just said something that I really like, light in the dark.
Yeah.
And my first episode with Zach, which is a very good friend of yours as well.
Yes.
We just mentioned him before the episode, so shout out to Zach.
Zach.
Muscat.
My man Zach.
Yeah, and what a guy. He mentioned religion that helped him through his hard times. And I heard that you found God.
Yes. That was what I'm going. Yes, really. So eventually, shall we go to the?
Up to you.
So let me tell you. You've asked me if I could bring something that has impacted my life.
Yes.
Yes.
The audience.
And now you're talking about, has God been an influence to my life?
Yes.
And what I brought with me is the Bible. This is the Bible.
Can I see?
Yes, sure.
Can I feel it?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
That is the Bible. That is a book that has gave me back my values, made me the man I am today.
I see some notes.
Yeah. I mean, the Bible is not only read, but it's even studied, and I go to a church, to a fellowship, and Jewy, which I meet even with Zach. Sometimes we make some online sessions, And I remember being in a cell around 7 years ago, and when the problem is too big for you to handle, you must ask someone bigger. At that time I didn't believe as much, but I fell down on my knees and I asked God, really, if you're really there, please help me get my life back. Obviously, I felt something really special in me. I didn't stop obviously I didn't stop my drugs, but from the day I felt different. I started getting some happiness back in my life, and I started looking at things really different. And this no, I wanted to know more. Going back to when I stopped my medication, that was a big part of my how I handled those 11 days. Even the friends I talked about that I called were Christians, and obviously we prayed together, and and today God is a very special part in my life, and I'm not into religion, but I'm really into a relationship with him.
Okay.
And this is a book that confronts me every day. It's not easy. I still have a lot of stuff to work on myself, but hopefully I am in the right direction. Sometimes I still make mistakes, like even today. I had a small argument with my wife. Maybe my words weren't good enough, but
part of life and part of
part of life, and yes. But obviously, I'm so thankful that I became who I became today, because God is a big part of my life. I mean, I humbled myself enough, and this relationship that I have with him, Luca, I can tell you, I can't even explain myself. It brought me to who I am today, and I'm really looking forward, because even the stuff I'm doing today, these runs I'm doing, I mean...
let's go into that.
Let's
go into that, because I believe that religion we spoke about.
This is a good thing. This is the big part of my life. I mean, for sure, it changed me, and today even, Luca, it's not about me only. It's not about me.
Of course,
it's not. It's not about me. It's not about me. And I can tell you, man, you need to start reading the Bible. I mean, it will give you a very good direction of life. If I have to tell you something about the Bible, like for example, you need a menu just to know how would the best possible way of that laptop would work is to go through the menu. And if you want the best life for yourself, this is what you should be reading.
Okay.
That's 100% sure, because it will give you discipline, and you will take very good decisions in your life. After that, I can say I'm someone who fasts. So I did 10 days with only water.
Mm.
Yes, both me and my wife. Now we make this, we can fast, even before decisions. I mean, business decisions, we make this fasting and prayer, and this is something I really, really gave me back my life, because now I'm someone that my problem always was very difficult to say no to stuff. Today I can say no at everything, even food. So I really want my life.
That's the most difficult food when it comes to food. So that's not everyone loves a juicy burger sometimes.
Yes, and Jesus is my Lord and Savior.
That's so nice to say. Personally, I believe.
Very good.
But I never read, which is probably a mistake.
Yeah.
But I think I'll come through it with experiences.
Yeah. There's one Bible verse which says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not lean on your own understandings. Acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths." It's good that before anything, even everything you do, you give everything. I mean, get that. It's not about praying. It's about getting your relationship with Him. Trust in Him. And everything you do, I mean, give all the glory to Him. I do not accept any kind of glory, but I would give it to Him.
Nice. Let's go into the running.
Yeah, running.
Because now I think it's the highlight of your career so far.
Yes.
From football star to let's say, I don't like to mention it, but heroin addict.
No, don't worry.
And now creating an insane record. Would you like to share?
Yeah. So eventually, after getting off those medication and getting everything back in order and clean, now I'm weighing 120 kilos. And us as a footballers, we're nowhere near to feel that bad. I mean, I couldn't even do my own shoelace. Now I said, what's next? Because I'm really clean and sober, but now my health is
left
not good. And I say, I can't live this way. I need to do something. So I'm starting something small, even walking, So eventually I started walking, and then I started running slowly, and now I'm getting back those endorphins, and I'm getting this excitement, and I'm getting this self-belief. Now I'm lifting my feet.
You're back in the game.
I'm back in the game, and I'm feeling that vibe, that energy, and now I'm thinking to myself, what's next? And there's this Malta marathon coming up, which I was still really heavy. And I'm thinking to myself, I should enter this and do this 21 kilometer. I had never ran even 10 kilometer yet. But this marathon is around 3 weeks time. And I go to my friend and I say, listen, I said, I really want to do this half marathon. He says,
impossible.
Don't try it, because you're not in a shape to do a half marathon. And that is the word I wanted. Don't try it. So I said to myself, I'm gonna do it. So I went to talk to my wife. I said, listen, I'm going to do this marathon. And my wife knows me really well. She would never say, you're not gonna do it, because she'd know. So I have this small business now. I make dog food, raw food.
Really?
Yes, which I will explain to you. Eventually, I go to my wife one day, and I grab this whole packet of cigarettes and say, listen, I said, I'm done smoking cigarettes as well. Now I was smoking 20 cigarettes a day. And if you would tell me, stop your cigarettes, I would say, no, I don't want to, because I stopped drugs, I stopped pills, I stopped alcohol, I stopped everything, but leave my cigarettes. But now I put this thing in my head, I want to run a half marathon. So I stop it, and 3 weeks after this half marathon comes, I go to Rabat, and I walk and run all the way, And I did this thing nearly in 3 hours, which is a horrible time, but that was good enough to ignite
your light inside.
My light inside. So then I really cried at the finish line. Especially my kids, both kids, not the big one, the young ones, came running with me, and it felt, I have the video, I will send it to you.
We'll input
the movie clip. And I'm like crying, man. I say, wow, what a feeling. There's all these people clapping, not for me, for everyone.
Exactly.
But, and I'm bringing back memories, the stadium,
Yeah.
and my dad is in my head, like I can see my dad really happy.
Was your mom there?
No, my mom wasn't there. My mom is she's there when I'm doing these runs.
Exactly.
She is, but
Because I saw.
at this day. So now I go home. I can't walk for like 4 or 5 days, and I'm like finished, and then now the addictive person comes in,
Exactly.
and I'm like, let me get into this thing running, and I'm searching the internet, and suddenly this thing comes up like a pop-up, and it says 100-kilometer run, and I never knew these things existed, and I say, what? How is it possible to people run 100-kilometer, and I'm seeing these people, and I say, I'm gonna run 100-kilometer for Caritas, and I'm going to document from couch to 100.
That's nuts.
And apart from running 100-kilometer, now this is last year, right? Apart from running 100-kilometer, it's not the distance which made the challenge. No, this is the 100-kilometer, not the 100-mile.
All right.
Last year, the time frame I had to train for it. So in 1 year and 3 months, I managed to run 100-kilometer in 11 hours.
Non-stop.
Non-stop. There's people running, and I ran around the border of Malta, the coastline of Malta. I started from Dingley all the way to Shemshia, coastline, Sliema, Gżira, Valletta.
No way.
And I did it I will show you after. It was all over the news, and people joined me, and I did it for Caritas, and it was a success. And now this thing is over. Last year, April. And I say, now what? So I go to talk to my coach.
Thinking about it, 100 kilometers.
And
100.
yeah, and then Caritas are very happy. We get this thing pumped up, the giving back aspect, and it went really well. Everything. I finished in the rehab. The run finished in the rehab, and it was amazing, man.
Nice.
It was amazing, and there is the residents there, and it's hope for them. I mean, I was one of them. We could all do it. If I did it, everyone can. But you need to work hard and be disciplined. So this is finished, and I say, now what? What are we gonna do now? There's this coach, Fabio Spiteri.
Of course.
He's an ultra athlete,
He collaborated with us a lot.
Very good.
In fact,
You should bring him here.
Yeah. We spoke so much.
We'll soon be going. I'll soon be going with him in June.
Yes.
I will tell you about it. And
Just to keep the viewer, we created a short campaign, a very small campaign for the horses.
all right.
We gathered 3,000 euro.
Whoa.
It was our beginning.
Very good. To Alistair.
Yeah, exactly.
His
Second
mother
child.
is a second cousin to me.
Yes,
Yes, and they're my clients as well.
we tried.
Very good.
Well, okay, let me explain the story. We had an aim of
Yeah.
30,000, of 30. It was my first ever gathering. I was like, all right, 30 seems okay. And we created this video, this short campaign, where in 2 weeks we had to gather 30,000. And I'm going through the donations, 1,000, 2,000, and all right, hope. But then with we didn't manage, but 3,300 something, which is not bad.
No, it's very good. It's very
And
good.
My idea was to give out 200 in the beginning, and
Alright.
that's it. But I was like, no, why? I can gather from different people, and
Very good. Very
know,
good.
why not?
Very good.
And Fabio was one of the biggest
Very
parts
good,
in it,
very
so
good.
that's how I know Fabio. And
Yeah.
we discussed many.
Eventually, after the run, I say, what's next now? And Fabio told me, you should take it up a notch now. I said, what are you up to? He said, you should run 100 miles.
And how much is that?
It's 160 kilometers.
60.
160. And I say, we're going to do it. I prayed about it because I don't take decisions. I want to feel comfortable within me. And if I get the go ahead, I know I can do it. So we put the thing into action. We started working from last September. We started working on this thing, and eventually last week I finished this 100-mile in 22 hours 55 minutes.
Non-stop?
Non-stop. And I did the challenge wasn't only the 160 kilometer itself, but I wanted to do it in a 400-meter loop trek in St. Aloysius Mediterranean Sports College, which I had to do 405 laps.
No way.
And you could see, I mean, I've trained like 4 months in this track, and I'm doing laps every day.
405 laps?
405 laps I did, Luca. Sorry?
And the track is 400 meters.
Yes, that's 400 times.
At school, we used to have this track. And with the fifth one,
What is 100
ambulance.
meters?
And
Let's go.
and there's people coming. I didn't make 1 lap alone. 1 lap, not even 1 lap alone, man. And I'm telling you, the vibe was crazy.
It passed or no?
Sorry?
How did it feel, the time? How was the time? Did it pass quick?
No, the way I broke it up. Actually, I did a very good job in so my watch I would give my watch the distance and the time. So I said to the public that I'm doing 100 mile in 24 hours. Now the watch will automatically tell you the pace, right? So what happened is I split it into 4 chunks. So it's for every 40 kilometer, I stopped around 15 to 20 minutes maximum, but it's because I was going a bit faster. So I gained time. So to stop and hydrate, eat, and even get some massage. So eventually, I did it like a game, you know. So every 25 laps, I changed rotation because you could get injuries in your ITB, in your hip, and in your ankle. So every 25.
Because you're turning always on the.
So every
right.
25 laps, you change direction. Now every 25 laps, I get some hydration and nutrition like a treat, like a present.
Yeah.
Then with 50 you get something special. With 100 you get to eat one something very good, you know, or take
Like always achievements, milestones.
that's it, like nuggets, you know. And so you have for 100. So first I said I'm going up to 200. So never looked at the 400, right? I went up to 200, then I need to go down again, you know, and I split it like that. And
It's a game.
It's a game. It's mental, but this is what I like about ultra running: the dark moments, the dark places I go to, and meeting myself, Luca.
Did you hallucinate?
No, at one time, yes. I did, but it wasn't that, because when there's a lot of people running with you, you know, it will keep you motivated, and even you're not on your own. But between 3 and 5 o'clock was the hardest. At one time, I didn't want to talk. I couldn't listen to people, what they're saying. And at one time I started hallucinating as well.
What were you saying?
I was seeing people, not in a form of people, like they had okay, but there was nothing. And they were talking like the minions. You know, and I'm telling my friend, what the hell are they saying? He says, this is 4 o'clock in the morning. Now people, there's not a lot, but there's like 4 of us running. And this guy, I'm telling him, what the hell is, what they're saying? He says, who? I says, those people at that corner. He says, which corner? I said, here. He said, there's no people here. I said, there's people talking nonsense here. Well, eventually, I knew. But this is what I like about ultra running. I mean, those dark moments, those situations that.
But are they considered dark to what you've passed through?
No, I like being there.
I don't think it's dark. I think it's not.
No, I like being
it's
there.
a dark moment, I think.
No, I enjoy myself there, and that's why I do this. I want to be there.
I think you're the type of character that if you're addicted to something, you go as in 10,000%. And I think the addiction you got now is very.
I don't like the word addiction anymore, but I like to go to those places. That's me. That's me, and that's my high now. That's my high. That's my high. That's where I get to meet Miguel. That's where I meet myself. That
I can imagine your mother how proud now.
I'm very happy that she's
witnessing.
She's 85 or 86. God bless her.
Of course.
Beautiful mother, and I'm very happy that she gets to see me
excel.
And she tells me that she's very proud of me, and I will have no regrets if something happens to her. Not like the way my dad died, and I still carry that.
That things. I understand.
What if I have there's no ifs. Today I'm in peace with myself. I mean, the Bible healed a lot of scars, and even regarding I'm someone, Luca, that, and to be honest, I wanted to be so clean in my life that I even confronted some people that I've done wrongs to, that didn't even know that I did these wrongs to them.
What are the wrongs?
Maybe I've done some very bad things in life for drugs, and maybe you wouldn't know who have done it to you. I showed up to not a lot of people, maybe one or two people. I couldn't live. I couldn't live with myself. Not.
Would you like to share the story of what happened?
I mean, not really, but sometimes in life you need to clean.
Yeah.
Getting sober is not enough.
It's like a.
You can't live with the guilt. You can't live with the guilt, because that guilt will. The relapse is not when you take drugs, Luca. The relapse starts. First of all, when you have that emptiness in you, and you don't know what you're doing with your life, when you start getting again with the wrong people in your life, or you're living with some kind of guilt, that guilt would not let you live happy in your life. And what happens? You would turn up into bars drinking and trying to escape that guilt. So eventually I had to clean up everything in my life, and I had to go to these people and say, listen, I know you don't know, it wasn't me, but remember that situation? That was me, and I'm truly sorry. And these people forgave me. And even if they didn't,
at least
I've done my part, and that is part of getting sober. That's
one of the advices you can give out.
Yes.
One of many.
It's not only getting sober in life doesn't mean stopping from taking drugs only. There's the whole picture around it, you need to tick all those boxes, man. Get your life back in order. It doesn't mean getting your life back in order. It doesn't mean that stop using. I've done that before. That's why I had all my relapses and went back, because I always wanted that reward again. I never accepted myself not drinking, maybe, or not smoking, or not.
Exactly.
If I can't control it, you have to admit it to yourself, and you have to stop it, man. That's like, why do people need to lose literally everything in their life to know that they're in a bad situation in their life? Why doesn't people pick up themselves right away? Why? Because of pride, because of, and you have to lose everything to get back and try something for your life. I'm lucky enough, I'm blessed enough to be here talking to you and giving you my story, because I have a lot of friends that didn't even make it.
I'm sure that this is not even 1/4 of your story. There's so much.
There's a lot to it. And even now, I got even more comfortable talking
it's normal.
in English because it's not easy for me. But then I get really comfortable even in this situation.
Thank you.
But yes, today I'm so grateful for this life, and it's all about sharing the message that in life you don't need drugs to be someone special. You can really be someone special if you work hard for it.
So what I usually do with all my guests is hit some quick-fire questions. Okay? So basically how this works is I give you some points and you react quick to them. So
All
it's
right.
like a quick thing.
Yeah.
I don't have much today,
All right.
but I think they're a bit more interesting
Yeah.
than usual. Okay, so we'll go with the first one.
Yeah.
What song would you choose to represent your journey so far? Is it sad? Is it...
No, it's not sad. No, of course it's not sad. My journey so far.
What song would you choose to represent your journey so far?
The joy of the Lord is my strength.
Okay.
The joy of the Lord is my strength.
I don't know personally.
The joy of the Lord is my strength. But I
After the one question you hope people will never ask you.
What would you have done? Wait, how do I say it? Kiko. When they say, how would I say it? What would you have done if you didn't take drugs or something?
Exactly.
And I don't like it because it's there.
It's there.
I've done it.
Been there, done that.
So don't ask me what would I have done if I didn't take, because I took it.
Exactly.
That's it.
That's why I didn't ask it, because it's there.
It's there, man, because people get to ask me, what would you do if you never took drugs?
Exactly.
Hello.
I'm here.
I'm here.
You know, that's a mark in your story, you know?
That's it.
Everyone has different stories. So, the toughest mental situation you've passed through in your life?
Mount Carmel. Locked up 23 hours.
Doing what?
Nothing. Sitting in a cell with a hole on the floor. Walking in a corridor. In a 5-foot cell. That's where endurance came in.
Is it as big as here?
It's approximately, yes. That side, yes, and this side a bit bigger, because you would go around the sink. So this side is 5 steps. This side is 6 steps. This section used to be called 8B. We had a corridor, a 12-foot, 13-foot corridor. So you go out the cell, and you would be in this corridor where we would be like this thing. This thing doesn't exist anymore. They had to close it. But yes.
Why?
Because
It's too crazy, I think.
No, I wouldn't leave my dog there, Luca. Asapara people. Over there was hard. It was my hardest. It was my lowest, and we would be locked there, and without me knowing what I'll be doing in my running, this endurance thing. Without knowing, I was training myself really, really, really good for these upcoming events.
You turn around because nothing to do.
Nothing to do. And I once I got myself in a very bad situation with the nurse, and I was locked up in there, and that is what was the hardest. That was the hardest. But I must say it gave me a lot as well.
What's the strangest ultra running habit you've picked up?
That I can't live without. The habit.
No?
I need to run, Luca. I need to run.
In fact, coming to the studio, right? He walked the other side. And I heard him running back because he walked the other side.
I need to run. I need to run. No, I mean, it's a big part. It's a big part. And listen, I mean, once you get your health back, it's really nice. I'm 45.
Of course.
I lost a lot of time, so it's good to gain a bit.
That extra run, you know,
Mala.
from here to there makes a difference.
Well.
What's one skill, this is the last one,
Uh-huh.
that has been a game changer in your recovery?
Being aware of the situations about people, places, and things, and never got comfortable in these three things I said.
Okay.
People, I mean, by people is the people which I must say are not in my circle anymore. People, places are the places I used to kontimur kif tgħid.
Used to go to.
Places that I used to go to, which could harm my recovery, people, places, and things, and even things that relate to drugs. Not getting comfortable with these three. So I must say, yes, it's my main thing of keeping my recovery is not taking my recovery for granted and not being comfortable at these.
Taking it seriously.
Yes.
Taking it seriously. Now, I don't usually do this, so this is over. I don't usually do this, but I would like to give you a spotlight today. Okay,
Yeah.
it's an idea that came to mind before the episode.
Okay.
Like some more water.
It's okay, Luca.
If you don't mind,
Yeah,
because
we'll share.
thank you.
Would you
If you
like
want
a
more,
lot, yeah?
I have more water, so don't worry.
No, it's okay.
Thanks, that's enough. I have more water.
I
if
like
you
this
want.
bottle, ta.
It's nice, huh?
Hey, yeah, ta.
It keeps it cold as well,
Mala.
so it's nice. Tell us your most craziest story.
My craziest story. One of my craziest stories. So, I'm not going to get in trouble. Hopefully, about it. It's a story. It's been long now, but I must say, I'm not sure if it was with the under 21 or with the national team. Apart from a couple of times losing the plane to get back for partying, even with the national team. But once, Luca, I'm going to share this with you, all right? Let's
Ready?
see.
Get your popcorn ready. after an hour and a half.
Once I was in Denmark, in Copenhagen. We went. I think it's with the under 21s. I'm not sure which team. But I went out. I met this guy who had ecstasy pills on him, and I ended up talking. And after getting some pills for the nights, I decided to ask him if he could load like 100 pills for me. And I would buy off him, so I buy like 100 ecstasy pills from him, and then I'm thinking, how the hell I'm going to bring them back to my country, you know? So I packed them up that night, and and I put them in the kids manager bag.
No way.
At that time, and I go to talk to him during the night, and then now he's packing his bags, and I know. I mean, we're playing for the national team. I said, there's no way. We get out real quick of the airport, and I'm like, I put them in the bag and I rolled them in the socks for him, you know, and I squeezed it into his bag, and then I'm like. We put everything on the plane and we flew back here, and now we get to the airport and I'm like, oh my god, now what? And these bags come in, you know, and now I'm the old in prayer, trying to help with these bags, you know, and I mark the bag. to recognize the bag, and the bag comes in, and I brought those pills from Denmark to Malta, and the kids' manager's bag.
No way. No way.
It was crazy, but we managed to pull that off. But I would not recommend to anyone. But it was crazy. But yeah, it's a story. I was at that time. I was a bit crazy. I've done a lot. I've done a lot of crazy stuff. I mean, Justin would tell you, and Andrew would tell you, and other players. But I think this was one of the most.
And this you told no one about?
I mean, my friends and my other side of the friends story knows about it, but I wouldn't talk to I mean, there were players that took ecstasy with me. I mean, from the team, but I would never trust anyone explaining that I'm going to put the. First of all, I didn't want to, because if these were found with two people, someone will point fingers. Rather than that, they would never know that I put them inside the bag. I took the chance. I made it happen. I was lucky enough to come. Looking back, it's a stupid idea, because how much people you would get in, especially the kit manager, Yasra, he didn't know about. But I knew that they wouldn't check our bags with the national team. But I wasn't crazy enough to put them in my bags, But eventually we got away with it.
No way. Like these are so minimal stories on what happens outside this place.
Listen, there is a book. I think Anatol De Bono did it. Stuff that happened in the dressing room, or when we were abroad. You should read about.
Yes.
But there isn't my ones in it.
There's
No. There isn't. But anyway, today the message is different, Luca. I represent the sober side, and wish everyone to recognize the way out of this evil situation. I am here to talk about hope, and to tell everyone that no matter how dark the tunnel is, at the end of the tunnel there's always light for everyone. And by taking drugs, you're not going to be someone special in life, but it will ruin everything you ever worked for.
I like to pass on this. Give me 1 second. I like to pass on this to every guest.
Okay.
And now I think this fits perfect with you.
Okay.
Like it fitted with multiple guests.
Uh-huh.
It's an empty journal.
Yeah.
Okay, empty journal.
Yeah.
So basically, just plain pages.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
It's, in my opinion, it's a start of a new beginning. Okay, you can write notes, your Bible verses, day-to-day ideas. So this is yours.
Okay. Thank you. For me.
Yeah, for you.
Hello, how cool.
It's for you.
Voilà, with the logo.
Yeah.
Bomba.
I tried to create something
Very
a
good.
bit different,
Very.
not too much.
No, it's okay, man. Thank you.
I wish I could have gave you more.
No.
It's the start of something
it's
special,
very
I believe.
It's very good.
Exactly. Also,
I brought something as well for you.
did you?
Yes. You're going to say something, or
No, we can't.
Okay.
We can't wait.
This is for you, Luca. This is the top. I changed 4 times, but this is one of my the one I broke the record with, the 100-mile run.
No way.
Yes, this is what I wore. And I wanted to give it to you, bro. And I want to tell you that you keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a very good job, and I'm very happy for you.
I'll shake your hand. Yep. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
That's
This
yours?
is something.
That's yours, brother. That's now. I mean,
You have to sign this. You have to sign this.
I was told that tomorrow they're going to represent the Malta record, that the longest run, not outside but inside a track.
Okay. No, but this is something different. I really appreciate. If you don't mind, Yep. Do you mind if I have a marker
Yes, sure.
behind in the place in my pouch? Okay. So I'll put this here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate.
No worries.
Right over here. So because that is your phone.
My phone.
Malik Zinad was our
Okay.
latest guest.
I
guest.
mean I like the way he fights.
So you're into boxing.
Yeah, I like boxing, and
Thank you.
I don't follow him that much, but I like when he fights. I get to see his fights and replays because he's a very good boxer. He's very talented.
Insane boxer.
He's a good professional.
Yes. So he left you
A message.
he didn't know that you would be popping by today, and he left this. What's one lesson you've learned the hard way?
One lesson I learned the hard way is.
Thank you, Malik. Good
Thank
question.
you, Malik.
Good
Very
question.
good, Malik. A big shout out to him as well. So the question is, one thing. Say
So,
again.
one lesson you learned the hard way.
One lesson I like not admitting that I have a problem. I would say
Good one.
not admitting that I'm in a problem.
I don't think it's the right word I'm gonna use, but
Wait.
you thought it was normal.
Sorry?
You felt it was normal.
No, I didn't want to believe that I'm actually in a very dark place in my life, and I didn't admit it. My pride.
Exactly like you mentioned.
My pride. This is all because I was very prideful. I had to go all through. I had to lose 25 years of my life. I had to lose a very good football career. I had to lose a very successful business.
Your son's childhood as well.
So yes, I must say. But eventually, everything happens for a reason. Now that we can say our story, there's the bright side of it, and there's nothing to do. So. Anyway, thank you. It's amazing. That's
so nice, man.
that's the 100.
Can you sign it?
Yes, sure,
So,
sure,
wait,
sure.
I have this marker right here. No, I'm gonna actually stretch it for you,
All right.
so it makes more sense. Okay. So where do you want to sign it? Where's best?
You tell me.
So I think it's best somewhere in the middle. So somewhere here. Here. Wait a second. Okay.
Yep.
Perfect, man. Thank you so much.
Very good.
It's nice,
I
huh?
wanted to get you one of my shirts. I had some very good football shirts. Huh?
Yes?
Yes, I had Marcel Desailly. I played against France.
Played against France. That's
Man,
another cool
I
story.
had his 100.
When you say had, what happened to it?
No, this I sold.
Ah.
I sold. Stupid.
Sad.
Sad. A lot of. I mean, drugs, man. Drugs will. Yeah. I mean, don't forget. I told you I ended up going through my child's piggy bank for money. So eventually, this is life, Luca. You drugs will, no matter how rich you are, if you can't spend it, it will kill you. So.
Exactly. Miguel, I think we shared enough of your story. It's been crazy. No, we're still going.
Sorry. It's very good.
No, we're still going. It's been amazing. I think one of the most not emotional, but you can say the most engaging podcast yet, because we shared a real life story where people are actually doing at this point in time. At this point in time. Everyone who's watching, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you, everyone.
Exactly, 81% of you who watch our podcast don't subscribe. I'm very offended for all of you. So if you can, please subscribe, leave a comment, congratulate Miguel on his experience, leave a note maybe who you want to see next, like. Did I mention like? Leave a comment. Okay, I mentioned it all. Miguel, once again,
Thank you, brother.
Once again.
Thank you. God bless you.
maybe you want to mention one last thing?
Not really. Thank you. I mean, I must say, I'm very grateful that I'm here and shared my story. I hope if there's even one person whom I could inspire with my story, or even reach out, or even anyone who's into running want to come and enjoy a run with me, just feel free.
So follow Miguel. Whoever needs help, please contact. Support is very important.
Yes.
Don't get over your pride. I believe that today was all about support. So
Yes.
find your support. It's so important. And this is one of the reasons why I got Miguel today, to help you guys figure out that you're truly in trouble and find support.
Very good.
Follow Miguel on his socials. Follow myself, Luca Camilleri. Follow my brother, who takes care of all this. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Beppe Camilleri Photos.
Amazing.
Champions Connect out. Thank you very much. Bravo, guys.
La bomba, eh?